Welcome to Books, Beauty, and Business, where we inspire, motivate, and encourage others through laughter, accountability, success stories, and most importantly, easy steps for achieving greatness. My name is Tawny Bro, and I am very excited to introduce you to Amanda McPherson, also known as Life Coach Amanda. We got together in Austin, Texas for an interview, and she was absolutely phenomenal. She currently holds a master's degree in counseling. She is a recovering risk-avoiding-scaredy-cat. She's passionate about empowering women to live and love boldly. She shares this inspiration through things like personal coaching, which I think is her number one, corporate training, workshops, and international retreats, which sounds lovely. She particularly loves working with women in the areas of career growth, dating, relationships, and overall self-confidence. So we're very excited to have her, and we hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm so glad to be here, Tawny. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
I love the name of your business. It really speaks to me at a lot of levels. So
that's
awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's my three favorite things.
Right, and you can have all those things. That's I love. We don't just need to focus on beauty or just we can be that well-rounded. Yes, absolutely.
I love it. So I'm excited to talk with you today. So first, I just want to hear your story, because life coaching is such and it's an interesting thing, but I always feel like there's a story behind it too. So tell us.
Right. Well, you're very, very smart to know to pick that up, because in my case, there definitely is a story. I like to call myself a recovering, risk-avoiding-scaredy-cat. So, some people can say, I was always confident, I always went after my dreams, I've always been... That's not me.
Okay.
And that's part of why I'm so passionate about being a coach, is because I know what it's like to live in a way where you are kind of playing smaller than you really want to, and you have a lot of fear and self-doubt, and I guess that's the way I describe it, is you're playing small. So I did not, pop out, I always say, of the womb, or I was not always the confident girl in high school, junior high, etc. So my journey of becoming a woman who does really accept myself and who has gone for my dreams has not been one without a lot of work. Okay. And so so let me go back. So I did all the things you're supposed to do. I did well enough in school. Probably could have done better. I went to college. I got a good job. Eventually, I was living in Washington, D.C. I had from what everybody would have thought, a very sort of prestigious, like you made it kind of life. But what they didn't realize is I really wasn't that happy. Okay. It wasn't lighting me up, but it was, pretty lucrative and made my family and friends, sort of be proud, I guess. And I let that go on for way too long, knowing that it really wasn't what I wanted to do. So,
like you had that gnawing sensation in the back always, like doing something
like
different.
This doesn't totally fit me. And I think a lot of times just because you can do something, just because you're capable and able, you end up actually sort of capping out, because you're not going to grow into the leader or become the top in your field if you're not really passionate about it, right? So you actually, while it may seem like you're successful, I feel like you actually cap out if you're not really passionate about something. It's not something you want to continue to study and read about. And so I kind of had that gnawing feeling, but it felt good to have the comfort, right, of a paycheck and insurance and all those things. And those are valuable things. I'm not putting that down at all. Believe me, as an entrepreneur, I know how beautiful and wonderful that security can be. But I was reaching sort of my early 30s, and I was looking out at my life, and I'm thinking, I'm not going to do this for the next 30, 40 years, however much longer I have to work. I can get through another year. I can get through another 2 years, but that's no way to live.
No.
That's no way to work. And it's not even really fair to my employer, that I wasn't really...
You were getting burned out.
Yeah. And it again, it was a good job. There was I could sleep at night. I wasn't like ashamed of anything I was doing or anything. But it just, I knew wasn't going to be something that I would want to do for the next however many years. And it had, I think that this is a lot of what I try to tell my clients is, you get to create your life. And it's like I'd forgotten that. It's like I thought a little life fairy was going to come along and get me out of this job that I really wasn't that happy in, and get me into a better place. And that life fairy wasn't showing up. And because it doesn't. And so I had to really think about, like, I've got to do this. I was a single woman. I was totally responsible for my own, income and everything. But I decided to go back to school at night. And to pursue a master's degree in counseling, because that was something that I never seemed to get bored with. Studying the human condition, studying psychology, studying why people do what they do, right? So I said, okay, I'm going to take one class. I'm going to take a class, see if I like it as much as I think I'm going to like it, and, well, the rest is history.
I loved it.
I loved it, but I worked full time while I went to school. So I also always want to tell people that maybe are considering making a change, but they think, oh my gosh, I have to go all in. I have to take this leap and go into poverty, and maybe not. There may be a way to do it where you can make some changes while you keep some of that stability, if that's necessary for you. So anyway, I got that degree thinking I was going to be a therapist, and because I believe in therapy, I had benefited from some therapy. But the more I started looking at it, the more I started thinking I might be better suited for a coaching model, because I love the idea of coaching is that when we're working with someone, we come from the place of, you have everything inside of you that you need to succeed. You already have it. It's my job to help you remember that, or to help you finally believe that.
And to pull it out of them.
And to pull it out of them, versus focusing on the broken parts, the parts that aren't working.
Okay.
So I love that sort of positive, forward-moving approach.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what a life coach was, before I started. I was like, whoa, what? Anybody can call themselves a life coach? I mean, they can. Yeah. It's a good and bad thing. It has not a lot of regulation, but if you're good, you tend to last, and if you're not, you don't. So I started my business while I was working full time. So, again, it was for me, it was a safer way. But eventually, I decided about 4 years ago, it was time. It was time to go all in on it. It was time, and it's been a great 4 years. I've grown more. Having your own business will make you grow more. It's like a personal growth, like boot camp every day. But it's been wonderful, and so I've had my business now for 4 years, and I do individual coaching. I do workshops, and I do speaking. And I just launched an online-based course, so a virtual course around dating. And
I did see that.
So I do everything from dating to helping women that do want to start their own business. They want to change careers, and they're kind of lost and unsure how to do that. And gosh, a whole host of other things. So they all center mostly around helping women step into their power, believe that they've got it, have them quit waiting to move forward.
For that life fairy to show
up. That life
right?
fairy, yes.
I wrote that down. I wrote create your own life, because that was such an important thing that you said, because I do think people they think they've taken all the right steps. I went to college, I have the good job, and if you're not truly passionate about it and loving it, you're right. You may have that feeling of like, I could be doing more. I know I could be doing more.
Right. And then how did this not make me happy? And having to come to that, and most of the people that come to my office, they thought this was going to make them happy, whether it's the job, the relationship, and then they're like, whoa, this isn't doing it. Why not? And we've got to dig into why not.
It's all about them, right? That digging in. So you're using your counseling in your coaching.
Yes.
So I always doing that.
So to say, you're kind of getting a twofer with me. I'm gonna, as a coach, I'm gonna be a bit maybe of what you might call a deeper coach, and that I believe. Well, it made me think with your beautiful name of your business. So I started a blog as one of the first things I did. And it was called Girl Get Your Roots Done. Okay? Which always makes everybody laugh. and I'm still have some stuff on Facebook under Girl Get Your Roots Done, and that's my Instagram name.
Okay.
But the point is that we want the fruits, right? We want the amazing relationship. We want all the success. But if our roots are unhealthy.
I love that.
See? Yes! I love it too. And of course, it's a play on a girl who goes to the salon way too much and spends way too much money and time getting her hair done. But, but that's just like your business name. That's my point. You don't have to just be one or the other. You don't have to forego all beauty, treatments and decide you're going to just be sit meditating and be, never of this world to be a grounded woman. But you do need to be grounded, even if, So yeah, if your roots are unhealthy, I don't care if you get that job, you make that money, you finally get, that relationship. You're going to end up probably in my office or in somebody else's office or talking to somebody saying, what's going on here?
Yes.
Why am I not satisfied? So that's
that is deep. That really makes you just think, because it's so true. And it goes back to the truth. And we hear this a lot. We know this, right? Some of these things we know. It's just you got to keep hearing them and got to keep understanding them, that you make you happy.
Right.
Nobody else out there. It's not their job to. Right. It's your job. Exactly you make you happy. I love that.
You are so right. That's right. I tell people, if you take 100% responsibility for your happiness, I mean, your life changes right there. If you finally really get it, that you, not your boss, not your significant other, not your parents, not like you are 100% responsible for your happiness. I know that for me, duh, but yet it took a while for me to really grasp that.
Yes.
And to really take that forward. So
yeah, I've never been a big fan of the blame game.
Yeah.
I'm like, I own this. I own it.
That's
it's
great.
My life. I need to make my decisions.
Yep.
I did a similar when I had a full-time job and I was working on my master's in IT, and I changed careers in that way, but I feel like it's those stepping stones through life. You take those opportunities, you say yes, even when you're not sure, and you just jump right in and you create your own life.
Create your own life.
Okay.
Yes.
So here's a question for you.
Okay.
So my question was going to be, how did you find your love for coaching? But I think through your life story, you kind of did that. Was there a significant thing that just said, okay, coaching is where I want to focus?
That's a great question, and I would love to say that it just hit me one day. I want to be. I had heard about coaching, honestly, coming from the academic side of getting my master's degree. People kind of look down on coaching. So I had this sort of suspicious thing about it. But again, I thought, let me check it out. And I went to a coaching training, and again, it was like, these are my people. These people are positive. They're empowered. The victim mentality, the blame game stuff is such a part of what coaching's, getting people out of, and I so believe in that. And so, honestly, it wasn't until I really became immersed in the community that I became a believer in it. I wasn't, and so now that I'm a coach, now I think it's the thing. Everybody needs a coach. I have a coach, and I think that if you were trying to get to that next level, I now believe that, it's nothing against traditional therapy. It has a place too. But if you're pretty darn self-aware and you maybe have done a lot of work on the past or why things, but you still are stuck, coaching to me is the thing that elevates your life. The way you're just going to exist in this world, or I can say it for me, is different after having a touch with coaching.
That's impressive. And I think even in the CEO magazines that I've read, most when they talk about the really good habits they have a coach. They maybe call it a mentor or a coach that's encouraging them, but also getting them to that next level. Every person that's in a serious leadership role will say the same thing you just said. Your life will change with that. That's so true.
It's magic. It's almost kind of hard to explain until you experience it. But to have someone that I call it like, I don't believe my clients BS. Like, I don't believe my clients BS. I don't believe that they can't do it. I don't believe that they're too busy. I don't believe, like, and we all need that, right? We all need, I mean, we have people that maybe are our friends and they're like, oh, I know, I'm sorry. Like, no, that's not a coach's role. Coach's role is to sometimes give that tough love of, I'm not going to believe the stories you're telling yourself about why you can't do that.
And make people accountable.
Yeah.
Like, this is you.
Right.
So, who or where do you look for to keep your inspiration? You just said you have a coach, so maybe that's it. But your inspiration and motivation, you embrace this, and you're in it. I can see your passion.
Yeah.
I mean, it radiates from you. So, where do you continue to find that motivation and inspiration?
Well, first I want to say that I do continue to find it. It's not like I don't think, you reach that point and you're like, I totally know. And I tell my clients that I'm like, every morning I'm listening to something motivational or inspirational. It's something that I have to infuse into my life just like anybody else. What you listen to, what you fill your head with is hugely important, right? So, I mean, I listen to books on, and that's honestly, that's the way I read my books for the most part, because I walk my dog and I have my, in the morning and I have it on. I listen to, Oprah Winfrey. I listen to Brene Brown. I'm going to mention some books later that I actually have in the hard copy as well as, but I listen to podcasts. I mean, I listen, it's something I seek out, and I can tell I have a better day when I start my day with that than when I don't, So
that's right.
Yeah,
I think that is so important, and I love hearing that people are embracing that too. Because there was a book, and I will just say this real quick. It's called The Miracle Morning by
I've heard of it.
Okay.
Yes,
it will change your life.
That's
it is one of those that you. It gives you that purpose, that drive to get up early and take care of yourself first, like that type of mentality. Because sometimes when you wake up and all of a sudden your day starts and you're taking care of everything else, right? Everything else comes first and you don't take that time.
Right.
So I like that I do that too at first thing in the morning.
That's great.
So, that was the next thing. I was going to say daily tips for success. So that's one of the things you do is you make sure that you have that infuse of good vibes.
Yes, and I know you probably have a mix of watchers and readership, but as somebody who was starting my own business, I had to figure out this whole structure thing. Like all of a sudden, nobody's asking for something at a certain time, and so for me, I've made myself become a morning person, and I know if you read most of the successful people, get up early, right? I mean, it's kind of, again, you add more hours to your day, you can get more done. And so, whatever that takes. For me, it took joining a boot camp that I had to be at a certain time to get my butt out of bed to make it happen. So, whatever that is for you, like set yourself up for success. Like if you're not a morning person, like put something in there that will make you become a morning person. I also got a dog that wakes me up no later than, 7. I mean, there's no sleeping past 7. So I cursed it and then I'm like, okay, thank you, universe. I think I was meant to get this dog that won't let me sleep. But, so adding some structure, putting some planning into your, if every Sunday night you sit down and kind of think about what you have for the week and what you want to get accomplished. Because as there's things that are coming at us, like emails in our inbox, calls that are coming in that we have to deal with, that are just sort of urgent or whatever we have to deal with. But you can probably stay busy the whole day doing that, right?
Yeah.
But then those things that are going to get you to that next level, those things that are going to take you, when I'm talking about within an organization or on your own or whatever, those things that are going to get you to the next level, they don't get done unless you have them written out, unless you have them planned into your day. So I try to really plan out those, like, I don't have to do them, but boy, they're going to take my business to the next level or make my career to the next level activities as well. Plug those in. Out of sight, out of mind. It's amazing how much if you just don't see it.
Yes.
It's like, I forgot I even have this big goal of, of creating this new product or this report or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So.
I like that. Writing your goals down so you can see them, so they're in front of your face.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, keep it simple. You know, some people love, and they're just those kind of people that do they have beautiful planners and they have it all mapped out and color coded, and that's not me. I just have decided I just have to do a brain dump all the time to get it out of my head onto a piece of paper, and then just look at that piece of paper often to remember what it is I wanted to do. Like,
yes.
You know, it doesn't have to be super complicated, but I think those things that will make you extraordinary, not just the ordinary stuff, out of sight, out of mind for most of us. If we don't keep remembering, oh, I want to work on that book, or I want to work on that, you know, developing that blog, or I want to work on my case to get that raise, or whatever it may be, we don't do it.
Yeah.
It's just strange how the things that are most important to us sometimes stay on the back burner.
Accountability comes into mind.
That's right.
They've done studies on this. You write it down. You're like, I'm going to say the percentage wrong. I think it's like 70% more likely to do it if you write it down, and then it takes it to another percentage. Yeah, that's probably a wrong percentage. But you take it to the next one. If you tell someone, and then you have those accountability check-ins, like a coach, so it keeps you moving forward.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of my clients. You know, we do the like deeper work, and then sometimes they're like at a good place, but then it's just they need me to text them and say, "You said you were going to do this. It's Friday. Have you done it?" And that may sound like you're hand holding or whatever. I don't care. Some that's like, again, some of the most top high level people know they need that. Yes. You know, yes, you can be a self starter and all that, but we all need to have some goals or accountability on those things that are not. Like, you're going to lose your job if you don't get them done. Those things that are going to make you extra.
Yes. And taking time to think about those things.
Yes.
And to put them down is so important.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see your book recommendations.
Okay, I brought Show and Tell. Yeah, like I said, I have a stack of hard copy books, so and you know, that always need to be read and reread. But I will start with my very first. This is The Road Less Traveled. I really think it literally first came out in the 70s. But this is what I would recommend for deeper kind of inner work. So if somebody is maybe, watching and listening that you're really kind of still stuck in a lot of self-doubt, a lot of past hurt, a lot of, why can't I just be happy? I would recommend this book. I still, you can't tell how old it is, but it's really old. It's stained and everything, but it's by my nightstand. It's just, I think it's a great sort of primer into kind of self-help and anyway, kind of a deeper look at that. So that's that one.
Okay.
That one's been around forever. The next one would be The 4 Agreements.
I have that one myself.
And look, it's so small. You can actually finish it in not very long. And you have you said you've also read this, and the chapter in here. There's 4. What it is? It's 4 agreements that Don Miguel Ruiz would say makes for, if you can live by these 4 agreements, makes for a much happier, more fulfilling life. And the one that I think is goal, and they're all great, but not taking things personally. Don't take things personally. If one can really master the concept of not taking things personally,
so hard.
The freedom that comes with that is just worth gold. Yes. And that's probably the chapter I read over and over as somebody who is a lot of my business is putting myself out there, right? It's yes, it's coaching, but it's Amanda, it's and I'm, when you're in that position, and even in a position of leadership in a company or organization, you're out there, right? And you're more exposed maybe than some to get a lot of feedback on whether people think you're doing it right or not. That's whether your hair looks good or not. I have to do all these videos and stuff. So I'm always really going back to this one to keep me grounded and to remind me not to take things personally. There's also some
I love that. I will put these titles in the description. So if you guys want to
Awesome.
Check them out or read them or find out more information. I'll put a link in the titles in there too for you.
Awesome. The last one is You Are a Badass. Have you looked at this one or read this one?
That's in my Kindle and in my Audible.
Yeah, this one, I mean, it's just so good. I always say, like, only thing I hate about this book is that I didn't write it. Yeah. I'm just like, oh man, this is a good book. This book, it'll make you laugh out loud. Jen Sincera is the author. It'll make you laugh out loud, but really does a great job of exploring those inner blocks, those mindset blocks that keep people from living their best life, to use an overused phrase these days, but to really move forward on their goals, their big plans, their visions. So I think almost every one of my clients, I recommend this book to, and they usually love it and eat it up. And the Audible version is really good too because she narrates it, and she's fun. So those are my go-tos.
Yes. I love it. Well, thank you for sharing those.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing that I do like to do, because there's so much great knowledge out there and so much great literature that almost anything that you're thinking about improving in life, I mean, it's just gotten so big, and there's some really good authors out there right now. So I love sharing. And I love it when other people share books that I've read, and I'm like, oh, we are thinking the same.
Yes. And different books hit you at different times in different ways.
Yep.
And I love reading the books and everything too. But I always want to say too, like, and then eventually you got to take your action.
That's right.
I know sometimes we can kind of get addicted to thinking, I'll get better, I'll be ready after I take this course or read this thing, and it's like, use these tools, use these books to help you take action.
Yeah, that is so true. You can read all the books you want, but if you don't apply some of that stuff,
right,
it's just wasted. Really, it's wasted.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that message too.
Yeah, I mean, I love it, and I think it's important, and I think it's really, I think it can be really healing to read something where you go, oh, I'm not alone in that, or other people struggle with that. I think that it can be, empowering and motivational, but I also caution people to get addicted, right, to it, versus like always thinking they need to consume, versus like it's also time to go and do it and make it happen.
That is the coach coming out in you.
Yes. Right.
I love it.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been a pleasure. I love hearing about what you're doing and how you're helping people, and I can't wait to read your book. I'm sure it's coming.
It's coming. Yes. My coach will kick my butt, and make sure that happens, and I'm excited to expand and continue working with women and all the different ways.
Excellent. Well, you can find out more at lifecoachamanda.com.
That's right. Yes.
And all the information will be below. So we thank you for your time today. Join us on our next podcast. And until next time, bye.
Bye. Thank you.